Hello, everyone. How you doing? You're welcome to today's FX market overview. Today being 17th February 2024. Quickly to the upper right of my screen, we are going to be looking at this assets. That's the dollar index, which is the main one we have on the screen now. Then we're going to be looking at the euro dollar. We're going to be looking at the British pounds, United States dollar. That's GBP, USD, NZD card, Euro, NZD. So these are the assets we've been monitoring, and it's been on our radar for quite a number of weeks now. So I decided to add some more. That's the AUD JPY, AUD CHF, Euro GBP, right? I'm sure we had Euro GBP then, and I think he went to targets, and then we had to take it off the radar. So I actually saw something interesting. That's why I had to bring it back to the radar list. And then Bitcoin, right? As you can see, Bitcoin is moving presently. Bitcoin is at 50,888. That is really amazing and a very, very like strong rebound from like the 16K areas, right? I mean, everybody thought, majority of people actually thought Bitcoin was going to go down to zero. And then, I mean, Bitcoin is more than half, beyond half of the entire swing. And I think the highest it got to was 69,000. Bitcoin is at 50,000. So we have just a couple of thousands more, and then Bitcoin is most likely going to go up and then create a new all-time highs. Right. So I'm really interested. I'm really anticipating to see what's going to happen to Bitcoin in the coming weeks and in the coming months. Right. So firstly, let us look at the dollar index. So I have the TXY on my screen here. Okay, so once again, you're welcome to today's market overview. Last week was, I mean, this week was really amazing, right? Trading this week was amazing. I only took one trade. That's on the euro dollar, and oh boy, the price really moved, right? So last week, earlier this week, when I was doing the recording on Sunday, I said I wanted to see the dollar index go a little bit up. I wanted to see dollar index buy up a little bit more into the imbalance, right? So that was really amazing because that actually happened, and I said because of the liquidity we had on EU, right? Fiber was giving the liquidity daily lows to the downside, profit equal lows, smart money kind of play, right? So I kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened, and I was able to participate in that move and then make some profit off the market. Yeah, exactly. So for dollar index, like I explained and I've been saying, we've been looking at the monthly charts every time we start the weekly outlook as the Forex market outlook, right? The present range, as we can see, this present range here, this one is bearish, right? We had this lower low, and January was a bullish month, and then February also presently is a bullish month. We want the price to come into the monthly imbalance, which price has done. Last 2 weeks price last week price did that. And last week price did that, and then this week also. I'm sorry, I'm mistaken last week's and last week. I thought we are in a new week already, but this is just Saturday, right? So we're still in the same week, right? So earlier this week we wanted DXY to go up the more, and that was what happened. Further push into the imbalance, and this was as because of the liquidity present to the downside on Euro USD, right? So for what am I going to be anticipating now? Now EU has taken out the liquidity. Let me show you. All right, so let's just do this. EU has taken out the liquidity, as you can see. So EU on the daily time frame, yeah, dollar index. We said we wanted to see dollar index go up because of the liquidity, right? We wanted it to go further into the imbalance, and that was what happened. As you can see, we had a further push into the imbalance. This was Tuesday candle, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was a bearish candle. But on Tuesday, we had CPI. I told you CPI is a very, very major news, and it usually moves price, right? So that was what happened. And I was on the right side of the market. I was opportune to catch an amazing buy, and an amazing sell on EU, and dollar index actually did what we anticipated, right? So further push into the imbalance, and now price is rejecting. So in terms of, we can see the present structure now, even looking at this now, it's giving us bullish momentum on daily time frame. Even though we're bearish, but we can still see some bullish momentum, right? Give us this high, it's low, it's high, it's low, it's high, and it's low. So it's giving us the higher highs and higher lows, even when it's in a bearish market. But because we are on a much more lower time frame and there's some conditions that needs to be met, that's what the dollar index is just trying to fulfill those conditions, right? And then EU, I said I wanted to see EU go down. Told you guys because of the liquidity. Now I also said that I had 2 point of interest, right, on the EU going to the 4 hour time frame. This we started the analysis from the daily time frame. We saw the imbalance, that's the presence of the liquidity. We already established what the directional bias is going to be. Now scaling down to lower time frame on the 4 hours, I said that okay, if we can see price come into this imbalance here, okay, if you can see price come into this imbalance, that's further premium, then we can take a sell and then catch a better entry to go down. Because if I actually took the sell from here, that's going to be more pips, that's going to be more risk to reward for me rather than just having this 1 to 3 weeks to reward, right? But then still very grateful for this, right? So dollar didn't come to this, EU did not go into this for imbalance. Instead, what it did was that on the 1 hour time frame, because I also told you guys that even though we have this point of interest, still monitor the candles and try to see what the candle information the candles are printing, right? Because I saw, okay, on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, we have this equal highs in this area. And then we had a run on the liquidity. That's on Monday, the weekly opening price opening and price just went straight for the liquidity. Then went further into the 4 hour imbalance. You can see now this imbalance where price rejected from also lines up with what I call the demand supply area, right? Demand supply area where we have price, multiple demand areas, and then price break through it and then comes back to more like the break and retest. Okay, you guys understand the break and retest retail pattern, right? Where price breaks the supports and then turns to the resistance and all like that. Okay, but me, I like to call it demand supply. So there was some level of demand in this area. Right, let me just put this back. So we had some level of demand in this area. We had demand, and then price broke through it. So now I had two imbalances I was looking at, right? So we had this little one here lines up with the demand supply, and then we had the bigger one up there, right? And then price came there after the liquidity sweep, came into the 4 hour imbalance demand supply area. More people are going to be looking to take this down. And then I saw, I'm not just going to take the trade because of it's just at the demand supply areas. There has to be multiple confirmations, right? Multiple confirmations result to high probability trades, right? That's what John Feeb would say, right? They said the highest probability trade comes from multiple smart money concepts converging together. Right? I mean, that's what he told us 2020 or 2021. Yeah, I remember watching that video when John said that. So I saw this then on a 1 hour time frame, we had what structure shift to the downside, right? After taking out the liquidity, filling the foreign balance, coming into the demand supply area, then we had a push down. You can see price push down, broke the structure, broke this one, right? Went below weekly opening price. And like John would say, in a bearish condition, we want to buy above the weekly price. That's it. Very normal stuff, right? So I saw this imbalance here after the 1 hour shift. I was okay taking a loss on this trade just in case the institutions want to come into this higher imbalance. Okay, but then it's a game of probability. As long as you are faithful to your risk to reward, the risk per trade, you should be good, right? So I wasn't going to risk crazy amounts, just going to stick to my risk, right? And then if it doesn't go my way, I'm okay taking that loss, right? And then we had a structure shift to the downside. Price went all the way into the imbalance. I was even late on this trade. Okay, I was even late on this trade. Let me show you. I was even late on this trade because I didn't even see it early. And see, when I did the markup, that was February 12, 2054. That's 2054. I was late. Price already came into the imbalance and already gave us the rejection. So let's assume price wasn't going to come back there. I would have actually missed out on this trade. Okay, so what I did was, okay, price has left. I'm just going to put the same entry at the same place and hopefully it's going to come back, right? Hopefully it's going to come back because I can see the structure shift I see what is going on. I see what the candles are trying to do. And I said the liquidity is still intact. Okay, still have a play here. Okay, and then I had my entry at the 1.0780, 800. That's an 80 level, right? And then 1.086. That's about 20 something pips. Yeah. And then I was buying above the opening price. I was anticipating bearish momentum. I was anticipating a CPI was going to take price all the way to the down, to straight for the daily liquidity we had down. And boom, that was what happened. And then you can see, came back, all of this. You know what? I wanted to do something. I remember I wanted to do something, but I was like, well, whatever. you know, I saw this new structure shift to the downside as this low, this lower high, and this lower low. I saw when price came into this imbalance here. And then I was like, I'm so close already. Do I just get in there or just wait? But I decided to just wait and then wait it out and see. And then price came down. I was like, it created this equal lows again. Not really equal lows, but we had this, yeah. So when I saw this liquidity here, and the price started to go all the way up, and CPI was close. I like to be in before the news, but I already had my limit way before the news, and I was just waiting to get activated, right? And then CPI just got activated, yeah, an hour before CPI. Was it an hour? Uh, hour. I didn't even know when I got activated. Actually, to be honest, when I came back, I just saw it at UTP. That's it. I just came out like, oh my god, this really moved. As you can see, this came straight down 26 pip to make 78 pips. Straight move down, and that was it. That was a play for the week, and then price just started to go all the way back to the upside. All right, so this is my play for EU. This is very, very amazing trade. This is one of those trade where you planned it, played out well, exactly, just how you want it. okay, so yeah, that's it. Just a markup for the trade. Really, really amazing trade. I mean, okay, so now what are we looking at going into the week? Now EU liquidity has been played, hit target already. Now going back to the day to the daily time frame, we're still bearish, but you guys know me. For now, EU is off the radar. I'm not looking at EU for anything right now. Okay, I saw the liquidity. I've taken it. I think that's all for now. Okay, so that's all for now. Except maybe this one's here, and just gonna wait to see what's gonna happen for EU, right? So for EU, there's no trade idea. But then I want to show you GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD quickly, guys. Okay, so for GU, we still have the liquidity to the downside. Okay, for GBP USD, we have the liquidity to the downside. It is still present, right? I remember calling out the sell from this imbalance took many days before price started to respond. And now we broke down below all of this, took out this liquidity here, this one, and then created this big move down, bearish, and then went up, lower high, and now price is coming down. Now, because of this liquidity, it is most likely we're going to see GU come down. And if GU is going to come down, I do not 100% correlate dollar index and GBP USD. I don't do that. That's why if you've been following me, I only do GXY and EU, right? So I'm not going to say dollar is going to go up, G is going to come down. That's what should happen. But in some cases, it doesn't happen like that. That's why I only do the correlation, inverse correlation between GXY and Euro USD. So now if I say GBP US is going to come down, EU is going to go up. That can happen, but I don't usually do it because I'm only used to doing dollar index and Euro USD together. Right. So for DXY, I think I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen. We want to see it go down, right, from this imbalance. Let's see if we're going to get a break below this daily structure here. Okay. This is going to be like the point of interest where we're going to be looking at. Want to see price break below this last higher low. If it doesn't, looks like it's going to go up. Right, and then for GBP USD, price looks like it's going to go down. And then I think I was talking to a student on Instagram, sent me a message. We're talking about, he said he missed EU and then he was looking for a new trade. And then we're talking about GBP USD. It's like, still looks good, fam. There's still liquidity to the downside. Just keep an eye on it. All right. And then going to the 4 hours now for GBP USD, you can see that price, the daily lows still intact. We also have some little lows here. And in this area, we can see how price went all the way to the other side, took out the liquidity, and then came down. So if we go to the 1 hour time frame now, see, uh, price is bearish based on this structure we're going to be looking at now. And we have this lows, we have this quick daily lows. It would make sense if we can see some kind of this, but this imbalance is so big, right? It is so big. I mean, from here all the way here, and then filled it a little, and then came into it again a little. So we only have this one left now. So what's going to happen, right? Are we going to see some kind of distribution from here? I'm going to be open to see what's going to happen here. And I think it also lines up with demand supply. You can see we had a lot of price, and you can see a lot of candles trying to go up, but there's this level of demand and supply in this area, right? We had demand, we had supply, 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 supply. So this is a very good area. And then kind of makes sense, right? So for GBP USD, I think I would still be looking at price coming down. Okay, but this is going to be my first point of interest. And then if this area doesn't hold, then I would just wait. Look at the candles, let them give me more information, and then I would make a judgment from it. But for now, based on what I'm seeing, let's hope for higher pricing a little, come into the imbalance, and then maybe we can see some lower pricing from there. Right. Again, we have a daily bias because I want dollar index. I said dollar index because I want the liquidity to the downside to get taken out. That's why I'm looking for lower pricing on GBP USD, right? GBP USD lower pricing. So that's it for GBP USD, guys. Then, so we've discussed the dollar index, we've discussed Euro USD, we've discussed um GBP USD. So now let's go to NZD CAD, guys. NZD CAD. So we've been looking at this for a while. I don't know if any of you already have an entry for this. For me, no. I missed the first one, and I haven't even really been paying attention to this asset. All right, so for NZD card, we wanted to see price come into this imbalance after taking out the equal lows, and I wanted to see some kind of higher pricing from there, and it's been responding from the imbalance, right? So our overall target is higher pricing up to this liquidity. So there's still a lot of move up, right? So quickly, let us check Forex Factory. What do we have? What do we have for this next week, brother? So next week, February. No, it's still this week. Next week, that's from February 19. Monday, we have, there's no news on Monday. Tuesday, we have AUD major news, monetary policy. CAD, we have CPI, Consumer Price Index for CAD. Same time, Tuesday, 14:30. My God. And then NZD CAD. Do you have any other pair that has CAD? No. So among our list, only this NZD CAD is going to give us that big move on Tuesday as we have a major news. So hopefully we can get an entry before CPI, and then we can get in. And then AUD news, AUD monetary policy meeting. We have AUD. Yes, we do have AUD here. Okay, okay, okay. And then on Wednesday we have AUD wage price index. Thursday we have PMI, and then there's a lot of news on Thursday. And then we have unemployment claims, 1545, yeah, the USD, GBP, major news. So I like to focus on FOMC, NFP, CPI. Those are the ones I like to look out for. So on Tuesday we have CAD CPI major news. So on Tuesday there's gonna be, that big move coming up again. So I pray we are gonna be on the right side. All right. So for NZD card, I'm still looking for higher pricing. I want price to go up the more. What do we have here? No, this liquidity has been taken out already. Let's see on the 4 hours what is going on. You can see price is slowly going to the upside. After I came into this imbalance, went all the way to the upside, and then give us this. Let me see this low, this high, and then we had this lower low, broke this higher high, higher low, and slowly just working its way to the upside. So right now, I'm still confused. I don't think I'm seeing any entry or any point of interest now. Okay, except for, let me see, do we have from this high? Nope. 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything of interest for me now. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add it to my radar. I'm just gonna add, well, it's on the radar. It's among our radar list already. So just gonna keep monitoring, keep checking what is gonna happen to Henry CAD. So right now, there's no point of interest. Just a directional bias. I'm calling out the higher pricing, which we all know by now, following me, looking at these daily highs. So there's no entry yet. But trust me, guys, there's going to be many. There's still going to be a lot of opportunities to get in if the institutions are going to come for this high. I can tell you that there's going to be a lot of opportunities to get in. There's still going to be more entries. I've been trading for years. I know if this is going to be the play, if overall, if they are not going to come down, if overall the move is going to slowly keep going to the upside, then there's going to be an entry. Definitely. All right, definitely. We missed the first one year. There was a first entry year. Those are the kind of trades I like to take. Just get in the beginning, hold it, and then just let it ride. All right, but since I missed that, I've not really seen an entry on this. So hence the card, higher pricing, but there is no um trade idea yet. I'm not seeing any point of interest yet, just a directional bias. And then for Euro NZD, we've also been looking at this for a while from the when price came into the was it a weekly time frame now? Into the weekly imbalance, yes. Price came into the imbalance, and I told you lower pricing from there. And since then, it's been how many weeks now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 5 weeks now. It's been at this just lower pricing. It's been responding, but I haven't had any entry yet. So I had a limit order on the 4 hour time frame, or was it 4 hour time frame or 1 hour time frame? No, not limit order. Oh, I remember there was no entry. That was what it was. Or was there an entry? I can't even remember. Yeah, when price broke the structure on the 2 hour time frame, and it's been selling down aggressively since. Not really aggressively, it's just going back and forth, as you can see. So what am I anticipating now? Same thing, lower pricing, daily lows. We also have this liquidity just forming in this area. So there's liquidity and there's another liquidity to the downside. So the actionable bias obviously is to the downside, and monitoring, just looking at the present structure in this area here, we have this low, we have this high, we have this low, and we have this high. So it's been giving us that market structure formation, lower low and lower high, lower low and lower high within the bigger range, right? So if the institutions are most likely going to come down, then we should be looking for selling opportunities. And okay, 2 hours and 4 hours. Um, okay, I'm seeing this lows here, but there's no point of interest also for Euro and ZD yet. There's no PO high yet, guys. Just I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see. Wait for more candles to print, and then I'm sure I will get the entry. Okay, so for Euro and ZD, just monitoring also. Then for AU to JPY, AU to JPY, we are so close to the weekly liquidity to the upside. So I saw this and I wanted to draw your attention to this. But remember CAD JPY. Okay, remember CAD JPY. When I called it out, this one was so fast. I called it out, higher pricing because of the liquidity. Remember? I said cut JPY to the upside because of the liquidity, and it came down on Monday, completed the imbalance. Tuesday came into the imbalance, and then we had to move up from there and straight for the liquidity. So something like that is what I'm also looking at for AUD JPY. We have the daily liquidity, weekly liquidity now. So just changes to weekly highs. The weekly liquidity up here, and so we have this, and then price is going up already. You can see just went up a bit. So in terms of the structure, what is going on here? We can see we have this high, we have this low, we have this high. So it is beginning to give us that momentum to the upside, right? And then looking at the structure, we have the high, we have the low, we have the higher higher low, and it should give us the what higher high at the end, right? So either way, if you look at it from the smaller structure or the bigger structure, it is we are anticipating higher pricing from there. Now, since we have this weekly liquidity now, let's just extend it all the way to present times. And now going to the daily time frame, what do we have? We can see it's going up. Price is buying up after taking out. We had what a moment where the institutions came for this what dynamic liquidity, swept the trend line liquidity, and then pushed the price all the way to the upside. And going to the time frame, boom, that was it. It came into this imbalance. As you can see, it came into the imbalance, and that's a move, right? Price started to go up from there. So AUD JPY is most likely going to continue higher pricing, yeah, all the way to the highs. And how do we get in now? Daily time frame, we've extended quite up. Check the 4-hour time frame, 12-hour time frame, 14 daily. You know what? I'm not seeing that point of interest. I don't think we're going to come all the way down before we take out this liquidity. It might happen. Have seen it happen sometimes, but I'm just going to wait to see what's going to happen around this area, right? Just again, once again, look at this CAD JPY, right? Look at this. Came all the way up. Friday, market closed. Monday, market open, came down, completed imbalance formation. We need three candles to form an imbalance. 1, 2, 3. Tuesday came into the imbalance, filled it. That was the move up, right? So if we can have something like that on AUDJPY, perfect. Friday market closed. Monday we have price go up, come down, create the imbalance. Tuesday, I don't know. I'm not saying it's gonna happen exactly like that, but just keep an eye for something like that. All right, and then just keep monitoring what's gonna happen on AUDJPY. Overall directional buyers sweep off the liquidity up. So that means we might be seeing AUDJPY go all the way up to like 100. Right, it's very possible. Right, AUDJPY get to 100. So let's just put that there now. Okay, coordinates 100. Okay, so is this possible? Can price get here? Can price get here? Let's is it gonna get there? I'm surprised level. Okay, so let's see. Can price get there? We'll wait and see. All right. So for ADJPY higher pricing, I'm not seeing any area yet. Apart from you can see price actually broke above the uh, demand supply. And this is a good thing because we had supply, we had, demand, we had demand, we had supply, we had supply, we had supply, we have supply. So it's making sense that price now broke through the demand supply area. So what most people, retail traders are going to be looking at now is the move down into the demand supply area, and this automatically turns to support, right? So this is a resistance now support, which is making sense, right? But we smart money traders are not so different, but just that our way of entries is quite different and precise, right? We're not just going to put entry at demand and put the stop loss God knows where, right? So we are very precise. We would like to see the confirmations, and then we go into lower time frame to look for those entries, right? That's what makes it very beautiful. Okay. So for AUD JPY, just keep an eye. Okay, that's it. And then for AUD Chef, AUD Chef, AUD Chef, I saw this. I was like, okay, okay. All right, so for AUD Chef, I can see this monthly liquidity down here. Okay, monthly liquidity down here. And I think last year in one of the weekly outlook, I also pointed out this liquidity. And then you can see how price has been coming down slowly, slowly, trying to overall take out the liquidity. Came up, came into the imbalance, dropped. First came into the imbalance, dropped. Came into the imbalance, dropped. Came into the imbalance, dropped. Are you seeing the pattern there? Let me show you. This came up, came into this imbalance, dropped. Came into the imbalance, dropped. Came into the imbalance, dropped. So are you seeing the? It's just repeating, it's repeating, it's repeating, it's repeating. So slowly we are going down. Slowly the market is going down. Right, and now we have this liquidity also in this area. Are not daily lows. This is like the monthly lows and weekly lows is present, all of them, right? So let's just leave it at daily lows because we're going down to the daily time frame. So now overall, this is most likely going to go down, right? Slowly it's been going down, right? And then on the weekly time frame, we have these lows. Now we're not going to be taking trades on the weekly and monthly, right? We want to scale down to look for those entries. Now, on the daily time frame, I'm saying some kind of an harmonic pattern. This is a cipher harmonic pattern, right? So you measure from the swing high all the way down to the overall swing low. And first, we want to sell. And we're looking at price rejecting from the 786. That's going to give us the cipher harmonic pattern. I didn't do the full calculation though, but oh, 50, oh, 50. It didn't even get to my harmonics is not even set yet. Okay, but then I'm not maybe Shark is 886 1.13. So no, this is not an harmonic pattern. No, but kind of close to it though. Well, what I'm trying to say is even if I'm going to sell, I'm going to be looking at this imbalance. Okay, I'm going to be looking at this imbalance. All right, so there's still plenty of room for price to go up inside this imbalance. I'm going to start looking for selling opportunities here. Hopefully, okay, hopefully. So that's it for AUD Chef. This is my point of interest for lower pricing. Okay. Yep. And then Euro GBP, guys. Euro GBP on the weekly time frame, we have this lows. Right. So I was doing all of these lines because I wanted you to see something on Euro GBP. I mean, it's been a game of liquidity and it will continue to be. Look at when we had this equal highs here. Price came all the way to the downside. Boom. Took it out, even went all the way to the upside, created another liquidity. This is for the future. This is for the future. We don't know when, but I know at some point in the future, this liquidity will get captured. Price is still so far from it. So I'm not going to start planning trades to hold with this high. That's absurd, right? so, so I'm just going to chill out and look at the liquidity that is closer to me to get that I can capture, right? And then look at this. Capture the liquidity. We had this equal lows here in this area also. It took it out down. And then created this equal highs, took it out, created this equal lows, took it out. And now we have this final one down here. Right. So this, I'm gonna remove from radar. And then we have this liquidity here that is um daily lows actually from the weekly time frame. So now if we go down to the daily time frame, there is no point of interest there, except for the fact that we are bearish and we have this lower low, lower high, lower low, and price is not giving us a lower high. But instead, we even have this equal highs in this area. So for Euro GBP, we have the overall liquidity we are looking at price getting to, but then we also have an internal liquidity in this area here. So Euro GBP could potentially buy up, strip the liquidity, and come down. But then I want to see something 12-hour time frame, 6. Okay, I'm not saying it. So for Euro GBP, I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen, right? I think last year, oh, I hope I can remember. I hope I can remember. I'm trying to look for it, guys. Oh, it's 2023. There was a trade we took. Oh, perfect. This was a trade. I remember clearly. Yeah, this equal lows. Yeah, yes, we had this equal lows. And look at what the institutions did. They now had equal highs here. And I remember because I took this trade. And then, oh, I think I can actually remember, but I didn't remember the trade very well. They didn't take out this liquidity. The rally price up created liquidity. There was no point of interest. Price just swept the liquidity and then started to drop. And I said, you know what, guys, they're going to start coming down because they want to take out this liquidity to the downside. So they swept this one and then started to run for this. So in this case now, that's what I'm going to be anticipating. Right? Maybe they sweep this and then start coming for this one down here. So I'm just going to be looking at Euro GBP. Okay, what are you trying to do? Right? And then when I see what price is most likely, Bitcoin just flew to 51. My God, this was at 50,800 when we started this call. We're going to check that next. So for Euro GBP, higher pricing, and then maybe start to come down. So keep an eye on that. Bitcoin, okay, is that a big move that just happened? Let's see. Okay, okay, that was a big move because we saw it at 50,000 hits. Now is it 51,000? It's a big. Okay. So for Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin, I said it was going to go below 40K because of the liquidity, if you remember. Right. I wasn't saying it was going to go down, like down, 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 although I wanted it to retrace a little bit more, but I was looking at below 40K because of the liquidity. And that was what happened. Swept below, moved below 40K, swept the liquidity, and then price started to go up. And then I was looking at price coming. This was the imbalance we wanted price to sell from, right? But it didn't come all the way there, right? And now on the weekly time frame, we are monthly rather. You can see Bitcoin really, really is trying to create that all-time highs again. I mean, came all the way down to 15,000, and then now it's back to 51,000. That's a big improvement, right? So even with this, we can say it's gonna go. It's most likely gonna get to 70K, right? Because it didn't get to 70K, it got to 69,000. That was the peak. Bitcoin got to 69,000 and then started the big, long time drop. And now it's slowly going up. So it's catching more and more people's attention now, including mine. So, but look at this. We are presently inside imbalance. Okay. We're presently inside an imbalance. What's going to happen inside this imbalance now? Is it going to break through, or the imbalance is going to hold price and then it's going to come down the more? So let's wait and see what's going to happen. Okay, but presently it's inside a weekly imbalance. It's going to happen, right? And then keep in mind, just forget it, forget it, just forget it that okay for 1 or 2, 3, 5 seconds, forget that this is Bitcoin. And then what would you do looking at market structure alone? Higher high, higher low, higher high, break a structure, lower low, lower high, lower low. But is that going to happen? Is that going to happen? Because the next area of demand supply is in this area. This around the 35K areas. But then is that going to happen? Are we going to see that? I don't know. And then going to the daily time frame, you can see prices slowly selling down, rejecting from the imbalance. So there's no entry for me yet. I'm just going to wait and keep looking and then keep monitoring the chart. Hopefully we'll get an entry to go higher or go lower. I don't know which one is going to happen right now because Bitcoin is at a very, very technical area, right? So just keep an eye, okay? If it's going to go higher, we will see it. The candles are going to tell us. If it's going to come down, the candles are also going to tell us, okay? So that's it for Bitcoin. Keep an eye. And yep. And then look at the distribution we had inside the imbalance. First, it gave us this equal lows. And then you had this higher high, higher low, higher high, break of structure. Came into what this mitigation candle. This is a mitigation candle because the candle actually swept the liquidity, right? And then you could have played the open of the candle, something like this. Stop above the high. This is how I would have played it. And then I would be aiming for 1 to 3. That is something like this. Down. And then this would have actually, it's not even up to 1 to 3 yet, but it's so close to it. That's how I would have played it. So for now, just keep an eye on Bitcoin. Okay, I'm gonna update you next week on what we should most likely be looking out for because more candles would have printed and would have actually have more information to look at. So Bitcoin at 51,000 on dot. I'm gonna end the session there now. All right, guys. So have an amazing trading week. Don't over leverage. Okay. Love you guys. And this week we're gonna be dropping a new series on our forex trading for beginners. So this is going to be part 6. It's going to be currency and how it's been traded for years, or how it's being traded, currency and how it's been traded for profits. Right. So in the video, I'm going to be explaining to you what is a peep, peepet, lot size, how to calculate them, and just give you 1 or 2 explanation. Right. So there's actually 2 parts: the part 6A and part 6B. Part 6B is going to be dropped next week. Right. You're beginning to really get into the main deal, right? Just be patient with me and keep following me on this. All right. I'm gonna make you a good trader. Just keep following what I have for you. So that's gonna be all from me. Do have an amazing trading week. Bye bye.